Oh. I should be 9. Should be 9. Sorry. Let's do it. Hey everybody, happy 5th of July. I'm going to break down what could be a pretty busy day weather-wise for us here along the Front Range and throughout the state of Colorado. Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Hopefully you are enjoying those extended 4th of July festivities, hopefully safely as well. Now things are calm in Denver right now. It's hard to believe that we're going to be talking about such a stormy forecast with right now we're in the mid-80s. It's a little muggy. You could probably feel it's a little bit muggy outside, but that's actually going to help fuel some of the stronger showers and storms later on today. And speaking of which, yeah, we are going to be looking at a fairly widespread threat for some stronger showers and storms. The main threat from today's weather, it's going to be the potential for some flooding, and that'll be especially heightened for our friends around the burn scars. It's going to be the big concern. It's going to be the burn scars today. And then tomorrow it cools on down. It's going to be a little drier, though we will keep some showers and storms in the forecast. Now, satellite radar, we are starting to see those first storms flare on up in some of those usual spots out by Summit County on south into Park County, so South Park on north to I-70, and then north looks like up by Berthoud Pass, seeing a few storms flare on up out there as well. And we'll see those storms not move a whole lot, at least as we head over the next few hours. And the reason why that we've got that flash flood watch in place is because we've got such slow-moving storms for this afternoon and through this evening. So we do have a flash flood watch that's in place throughout really all the burn scars, and that'll extend south through the wet mountains as well as on to the north. That looks like it's some of the West Elks included within our flash flood watch as well. For today, the main risk for us in the I-25 corridor will be damaging winds. Does not look like a big hail producing day. Never know in Colorado. Colorado Springs, Denver, Pueblo, maybe a small hail chance, but the main threat for today is severe weather would be damaging winds, which means could see perhaps a few power outages and some wind gusts in excess of 50, maybe even 60 miles an hour in some areas. So that forecast we get later on through this afternoon, through this evening, the Denver metro area time window would most likely be between about 4 and 6 o'clock in terms of that risk for some of those showers and storms to rumble their way into our direction. Same for us in the Colorado Springs, but the mountains, again, we're going to have those. We're already seeing those storms. So those storms won't really move a whole lot as we head over the next couple of hours. They will budge east. And I mean, these things are just going to crawl like a snail out there. And then as they do budge their way off to the east, we'll see them gradually dissipate on down by about kind of 6, 7, 8 o'clock or so tonight. We'll see that activity start to wind down, but notice some of those showers and storms still hanging tough in maybe, say, Douglas, Elbert, as well as El Paso counties. And then by about kind of 8, 9, 10 o'clock, we'll see those storms dissipate. I want to kind of include that we are going to keep that chance for some of those showers and storms in place after 7 o'clock tonight. So there will still probably be 1 or 2 storms around. That could include the metro area after about 7, 8 o'clock or so. So last few days, we got rid of those storms pretty quickly. Tonight, that may not be the case. So just especially any last fireworks shows may be ongoing. Again, just keep that in mind that we will have that heightened risk for maybe an extra shower storm after about 7 o'clock or so tonight. All the activity should pretty much come to a close by 9 to 10 o'clock this evening. Closer look in at the metro area. Again, we still got some of those shower storms around. Still got enough of those outflow boundaries, enough of that moisture in place that we could still see a storm or two between about 6 and 9 tonight, but the main window would be between about 4 and 6 to see those storms, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the foothills just west of town. Rainfall will be, as usual, hit or miss, but notice that Littleton number at 0.52 inches. Don't pay attention to the exact number in the situation. Pay attention to the higher end potential. Again, when we're talking about slow-moving storms like what we are looking at for today and tonight, we could see some pretty high rainfall totals in some localized areas, which would certainly mean that greater risk for flash flooding. Now, as of noon, 86 for us in Denver. Wouldn't be surprised if we are going to be seeing some of those temperatures getting on up a little bit warmer. But for tonight, we'll be dropping down about 63 degrees. Highs around 90 or so this afternoon, but we'll drop back into the low to mid 60s for tonight. Tomorrow, 83 degrees. We are looking at some scattered late-day storms. There is still a risk, and that will include Denver, for a risk for storms tomorrow. But, and this is a big asterisk here, tomorrow's risk looks a lot lower than today's, both in terms of the risk for potentially some flooding weather and also just storm coverage overall. So again, tomorrow should be better than today in a number of aspects. It'll also be cooler as well. I think tomorrow's going to be a much better weather day for us around the Front Range. So close looking at what we can expect for tomorrow. We'll see those first shower storms flare on up, and again, a bit more isolated nature than what we're seeing here today. Those highs around the state much cooler. We get a little front that swings way out through. That'll drop those temperatures back in the 60s and 70s in the mountains and the 80s in the eastern plains. Exception being our friends on the western slope. Boy, we just can't catch you a break. 98, just cooking out in Grand Junction for tomorrow. Meantime, highs for tomorrow around the Front Range, not cooking. Low to mid 80s. This is below average. We're normally 87, 88 this time of year. So, hey, we'll take it. Those low to mid 80s this time of year. And by the way, hey, in case you got those Monday scaries, keep this in mind for Saturday and Sunday. Pretty decent forecast. I think it'll be a little cooler than this past weekend, but similar in terms of those afternoon shower and storm chances, but nothing too dramatic in terms of those shower and storm chances we get over the next few days. Meantime, the kind of highlight of the week, once we get past today's storms, A, tomorrow we got some storms around again. B, look at Thursday. Whoa, 98 degrees. We'll be nearly at 100 by your Thursday. So it is just going to be sizzling later on into the week. Then the weekend, we bring back some of those showers and storms, and then kind of back to your regularly scheduled, fairly typical midsummer-like pattern with temperatures generally in the 80s with afternoon showers and storms around. So that's the overall look at the forecast. Going to see if you guys got any comments and questions. If you're joining us on Facebook, going to take a look at some of those questions that you might have for us, and certainly appreciate everybody for tuning on in. And it does look like we will be looking at, yes, some showers and storms this afternoon. I'm seeing that question there from Gary, where we do have, again, some of those showers and storms around for this afternoon. Margot asking for some rain for Aurora. Again, I think everybody's going to get a soaking today, or most places should get a soaking today. I'd say the chances are going to be about 50-50, if not 60-40, that you'll see a storm today if you're watching us in the Denver metro area. The foothills just west of both Boulder and Denver, I think that chance will be a little bit higher than that. So pretty decent rain chance for many of us. Corey Ann asking for rain as well. It seems like a lot of people asking for rain, despite the fact that I think most of us have seen it. Certainly my house, west side of Denver, we've seen some rainfall today. We've seen some rainfall over the weekend, so I don't know about you. My lawn is not all that parched at this point, but a lot of you seem to be asking for some of that rainfall out there. And Cedo asking for a time estimate for shower activity today. It depends, of course, on where you are. If you're watching us from the mountains, the foothills, from now till about kind of 3, 4 o'clock for the Front Range, for the I-25 corridor, that includes Denver, that would be closer to probably about 4 to 6 o'clock, maybe the western suburbs, Golden, Morrison on north to Boulder, and again, the foothills probably maybe 2 to 5 or so a little bit earlier as you get just west of town. Again, these storms would be just crawling along as they move their way off to the east. So for most of us, it'll be between about 3 and 6 o'clock. Denver points east, maybe close to about 4 to 6, and then a little bit earlier for areas just to the west of there. So seeing some of that. Becky asking about birth food, same idea. I think everyone looking at about a 50-50, if not 60-40 chance for a storm today, and that'll include you up in Berthoud. So keep that in mind. Though Berthoud Pass is getting a storm right now. Keep that in mind. Of course, I know they're different places. And so hopefully that's answered all your comments and those questions. Appreciate all of you watching us here on this 5th of July, and we should have a pretty hot and tranquil week after today, though we will have still some showers and storms around for your day tomorrow. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Watch and on Facebook Live.